Welcome to Native America Calling. I'm Sean Spruce. The annual gathering of dancers, artists, vendors, and spectators in Albuquerque this time of year is also the time when top Native hip-hop talent assembles for their energetic and creative competition. Dene artist Defy spearheads the gathering of MCs for the 14th year in a row. And as the popular Gathering of Nations powwow takes its final bow, what is the future of the creative explosion that happens all around it? We talk with Defy and other hip-hop talent live right after the news.
Hard work pays off. On the grind, no days off. Get the bag and then fade off.
This is National Native News. I'm Jill Freitas. An oil and gas lease sale is scheduled in Alaska's Arctic National Wildlife Refuge for June. The auction of drilling rights is mandated in federal law, but also reflects the Trump administration's commitment to promoting energy development in the state. The response from Indigenous residents that live in or near the refuge is mixed. Eliona Naiden with the Alaska Desk reports.
The Federal Bureau of Land Management announced this month it will hold a lease sale in the nation's largest wildlife refuge in the northeastern corner of Alaska. The piece of the Arctic refuge that's been the subject of passionate dispute for decades is the Coastal Plain, a swath along the Beaufort Sea that potentially has oil and gas reserves. The only community within the refuge is Kaktohovik, an Inupiaq village of about 300 people. Kaktohovik Mayor Nathan Gordon Jr. says resource development in the refuge means economic opportunity because the regional government, the North Slope Borough, taxes oil and gas companies.
The taxes that come from the development pay for all our schools, our water system, our sewer system. It pays for everything that has meaning in our lifestyle and protection and safety.
The Arctic Refuge provides habitat for migratory birds and polar bears. And the Coastal Plain specifically is the calving grounds for the porcupine caribou herd. Gordon says he believes development within the refuge won't interfere with wildlife.
With restrictions in place, it's already set in stone for us to have safe development with our animals.
But opponents of the project are concerned that gravel roads, drilling, and seismic exploration can harm caribou, especially during their vulnerable calving period. The Gwich'in community of Arctic Village is located right outside of the Arctic Refuge to the south. Faith Gimmel is from Arctic Village and has family there.
Imagine oil development in their core calving area. It's going to devastate our herd.
Gimmel says caribou support food security, culture, spirituality, and economy for Gwich'in people.
Our way of life is reliant on the caribou. In my opinion, Trump's incessant drive to drill in this area is a form of cultural genocide of the Gwich'in.
If the upcoming lease sale is successful, it could still take years for a project to break ground. With reporting help from Liz Ruskin, in Anchorage, I am Eliona Naiden.
Chopped is a Food Network show where 4 chefs compete in a race against time to make a 3-course meal. The latest episode aired Tuesday night and featured an all-Indigenous lineup. As KJZZ's Gabriel Pietrasio reports, a Navajo chef took the honors.
From Montana to Chicago, Indian country's top cooks vied for the Chopped title, but 2 of them rep the Southwest, including Chef Ray Narajo, who comes from the Santa Clara Pueblo, just north of Santa Fe. Here's show host Ted Allen.
And that means, Chef Justin Paiocchi, you are the Chopped champion. Congratulations, sir. All right. So how does that feel?
It feels really good.
Paiocchi lives in Fruitland, near the Navajo Nation. The 2023 James Beard finalist for Best Chef in the Southwest co-owns Paiocchi Food Group, a high-end catering company. He plans on using the $10,000 cash prize to help pay for his own brick-and-mortar restaurant. For National Native News, I'm Gabriel Pietrasio.
And I'm Jill Freitas.
National Native News is produced by Koahnic Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Support by the Gathering of Nations Powwow. The last dance is this April 24th and 25th at Expo, New Mexico. Reservations open now for RV and camper camping on the powwow grounds at Expo, New Mexico. Tickets at gatheringofnations.com and at the gates.
Support by Sonosky Chambers Law, championing tribal sovereignty and Native American rights since 1976. From opioids litigation to treaty rights to tribal self-governance. With offices in Washington, D.C., New Mexico, California, and Alaska. Sonosky Chambers Law.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.
This is Native America Calling. I'm Sean Spruce. Dancers, artists, and spectators from across the country are arriving in Albuquerque, New Mexico today for the Gathering of Nations Powwow. Organizers say it is the largest powwow in North America. Alongside the marquee event, the city hosts an event-filled week, including the annual showcase for the best in Native hip-hop. Now in its 14th year, the Gathering of MCs is spearheaded by Dene hip-hop artist Defy, a longtime presence in the Native hip-hop scene with a musical catalog spanning more than a decade. We'll talk about Native Americans and their contributions to the genre and hear new music from featured artists today. This is an annual tradition for us as well, to welcome Defy into the studio to get his take on the Native hip-hop scene. We'll hear from some of the artists involved as well. And listeners, you are welcome, as always, to join our conversation. Ask a question or share a comment by calling 1-800-996-2848. That is also 1-800-99-NATIVE. We've got the phone lines open now. We're waiting for your calls. And one note, we will be talking about the Gathering of Nations today. The event is a sponsor for Native America Calling, but that has no bearing on our editorial decisions related to today's show. Let's now meet today's guests who are joining us all in our Albuquerque studio. Immediately to my right, we have Defy. He is a hip-hop artist, educator, and organizer of the Gathering of MCs. He is Dene, of course. Defy, welcome back to Native America Calling. Always great to have you on the show.
Yo, good morning, Yacht Ed. What's up, everybody?
Great to have you. Also joining us today is Ilmac. He's seated across from me. He is a hip-hop artist and a citizen of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians. He joins us now here from Oregon. Ilmac, good morning. Welcome to Native America Calling.
Appreciate you having me. It's good to be here, for sure.
Absolutely. I know you caught a flight. You just arrived, so great to have you here, ready to go on time. Also joining us today, seated to my left, we have She-Real. She is a hip-hop artist and will be performing with Ilmac and others at the Gathering of MCs event this weekend. She-Real, welcome not only to Native America Calling, but also the 505, the Land of Enchantment.
Word. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
We're all doing really well and excited to get this conversation started. And Defy, of course, we're talking about the 14th year for Gathering of MCs, almost 20 years at work here. How have you seen the hip-hop scene evolve, specifically the Native hip-hop scene, since you began?
That's a good question. I would say like the Native scene just in general has evolved very much. So I'd say especially within the last 10 years, I would say maybe even before that, you got to give a lot of respect to the pioneers who've been paving the way, who threw events before. But at the very beginning of the inception of Gathering of MCs, there wasn't really many platforms or stages to hit for artists that were traveling here, not only just for the powwow, but, you know, just to go immerse themselves in downtown Albuquerque or other places. So ever since Gathering of MCs has been happening, I'd say like a lot of artists have emerged and went on to do great things with their careers, not just every year, but also just I mean, it's an international event now, so over, man, I don't know how many tribes come through, but so many tribes thanks to the powwow. It's grown so much every year. It's hard to measure right now when I think about it all, but there's some rising stars out there, like the first song you heard when this track's Stella Standing Bear featuring Paul Wall. Shout out to Stella. She hit the stage a few years ago, and that track kind of like sparked in a way because of that.
Well, I know the event kicks off this evening at 7 o'clock p.m., and we were chatting a little bit about the show. I know you're going to be heading over there about 4 o'clock to start getting situated. And I'm curious to know, Defy, I mean, with all of the background, all of the legwork that goes into producing such a big event every year. Do you actually have time, though, to just kind of sit back and take it all in and enjoy the music, or are you just too busy working the whole time?
I do try to check at least like a track or two from every artist, but having to run this stage quite a bit too, manage the stage time and make sure everything runs smooth, I kind of have to stay moving back and forth. People kind of understand that too, so they're not trying to catch up too long, over a brief amount of time that I have. But the energy is crazy there. I love the energy and the vibe, just the MCs, the beats. So if I hear something that's dope, I'm going to definitely stay tuned.
And, of course, you're an independent artist, and I know, the music industry's really changed in recent years. And we were chatting a little bit about technology and AI, but just even the way artists are able to earn a living and the way music is distributed. How do you keep up to date, and how do you market yourself? And what are some of the challenges you see just from the business side of being an independent artist right now?
You just got to be hungry, I would say, and just love the craft, and the business is kind of comes second nature. Comes after, but man, we just love the art and craft of hip hop so much. The lyricism, the beats, the rhymes, poetry, it flows through us, and it just carries forth in a way that no matter what kind of financial charges or obstacles get in the way, we'll find a way to hustle. We'll find a way to partner up with other sponsors, people out there support and love the music, the culture. So there's other like-minded creative individuals that we're all just here to support one another in that sense. So it kind of takes a lot of the weight off of just my shoulders. So not having to feel like it's just me putting something together. It's really everybody.
Well, let's go ahead and listen to some music now. We're going to play a track from your latest album. It's titled Nomad's Land, and this one is called De Filthy. And we'll take a listen, and then we'll talk about it.
Open my eyes, sunrises on a sequence. I fly like a phoenix, way higher than the zenith. Yeah, the temperature is thriving with the pressure. Yeah, the rain drizzles a little more lightly in the desert. Yet I dive into the pool and pull a rhyme into the measure. When I arrive up at the surface, then I cipher with the weather. I'm not under my umbrella, I'm over there by the meadow. Mellow when I'm listening to the wind and the thunder echo. I'm seeing eyes in the skies while the clouds crowd and move away, accumulate in the shape of a human face. Are you waiting for the perfect storm that you could chase? See your light bulbs boosting through the rays on humid days. It's that forewarning for the storm forming before morning. Forecast showing more pouring. No lukewarm chorus to loosen up your neck. It's that juggernaut thunder hop acoustical effect. Yeah, bass with a low rumble, treble with a loud crack. The octave causes a shockwave, hear the sound clap. Loud pack, open is where the town's at. Out back in Albuquerque making the sound slap. Yeah, Def I, feel a drumming. Filthy.
That track is titled De Filthy, and it's on Defy's latest album, Nomad's Land. Really good. Smooth sound. I like all your stuff, but again, this is just good quality sound here. Defy, tell us more about this song. What's behind it, and how does it fit in on the whole album?
I wrote that during the COVID era. Philip Drummond did the beat. It was really inspired from just hearing the beat right away, and it's a short beat, so we wrote the project probably in just a week. So it was easy to write when you got dope beats. And Philip Drummond's also a cultural ambassador. We kind of knew each other through mutual friends. He kind of is out in the Bay, in the New York area, and he's also produced for a lot of battle rappers too. So,
bro, he brought me out to Cali for the first time ever.
What was that?
He brought me out to Cali in 2002 or something.
Like the Fresh Coast battles?
Yeah, to do MC battles and stuff, and bought my flight, and I stayed at his crib. He cooked me pasta. I didn't have $1 to my name. Shout out Philip Drummond. He's definitely a legendary utilized battle promoter back in the day. Back in the day, you know what I mean?
Ilmac, I'm glad you jumped in here because I was talking with Defy a little bit earlier, and this is full circle for you because you were part of the very first gathering of MCs, and now you're back for number 14. So talk about your connection to this whole event and how it's moved your career along too.
Yeah. It's been so it is 14 years. Was the 14 years ago was the first one, came out for. Defy brought me out. It's crazy to come back full circle. It's been too long. I mean, I've done a handful of events still out here, you know, especially working with Defy. But it's good to be back and connect back to the gathering of the MCs, 100%.
Now, you're working out of California now, but of course you're originally from Oregon. You went to high school in Portland.
Yeah.
Just give us more of a take on what's happening on the West Coast. And again, talking about native hip hop and who are some of the artists you're paying attention to and what are some of the other trends?
Yeah. There's a lot of really dope artists. I mean, you know, I just did an event up in BC. Shout out Manic, you know what I'm saying, for bringing a lot of native hip hop to the forefront up there. It was really dope. Super fire artists. I'm literally have the worst memory in the game, but I mean, off top, like obviously artists who are on this bill, but you also got cats like Savelli. Yeah, I always get like IG handles and rap names confused, but one of the illest performances of the weekend. He's on the West as well. I believe in like NorCal, right, or Southern Oregon.
I think he's like in Bend or somewhere.
Okay, yeah. But that was like
Is
a
he
crazy
from the same tribe
performance.
as you, right?
Yeah,
Same tribe?
Chetco. Yeah,
Chetco.
Yeah, original bands, Chetco, Shasta Costa. Like, but his performance up in BC back in like I think it was September when we did the event was super fire. So he's definitely on the radar specifically.
All right. We have to take a short break. We're going to come back. We'll continue our conversation with our three guests in the studio today, Defy, Ilmac, and, of course, She Real as well. We also got more music we're going to listen to, so we'll go ahead and get some tracks ready to go as well. And the phone lines are open for any listeners who would like to join us today. If you are a fan of Gathering of MCs, if you're planning to attend this weekend, or you've been to any of the previous Gathering of MCs and you'd like to talk about that, what those events mean to you, or just any takes with regard to native hip-hop and how you've seen that genre grow and the evolution of that sound over the years. The phone lines are open, and that phone number that you need to call is 1-800-996-2848. Once again, 1-800-996-2848, or just 1-800-99-NATIVE. Give us a call. Let's get some calls going. Let's hear from some listeners. It's a tradition for us to check in with the Native Guitars Tour that makes its way around the country and lands in Albuquerque this time every year. We'll have live performances from artists and discuss what's ahead as the annual powwow heads off into the sunset. That's coming up on the next Native America Calling.
Have to keep things moving as they come my way.
Every family caregiver could use help finding the necessary resources to care for their loved one. The AARP Family Caregiver Resource Guide helps family caregivers access key programs, services, and agencies in their communities. A copy of the guide is available by calling 877-333-5885 or online at aarp.org/caregiverresources. AARP supports this show.
Thank you for listening to Native America Calling. I'm Sean Spruce, and we're speaking with hip-hop artists today about an event happening this Thursday and Friday here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The Gathering of MCs features hip-hop artists from all parts of the country to perform and compete for a prize. You can join this conversation with a comment or question by calling 1-800-996-2848. And one of our guests in the studio today is She Real. And She Real, you're originally from Harlem, New York, and I believe this is your first time in Albuquerque, New Mexico performing. How much exposure have you had to native hip-hop, and what do you think of the art form being embraced by so many different communities across the world now?
Yeah, Defy is probably one of the main people I've encountered that reps in that manner. But hip-hop has been universal for decades, you know, so I was speaking to a gentleman named Soul that's affiliated with you guys, and I was telling him how I've done shows in France where I didn't even understand the language that was being spoken, but I could tell who was fire based upon their energy and their delivery. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a story to tell. And I think that's what's dope about hip-hop is the conversation and the way it allows us to exchange our stories and share in community in that way, because we're all having different experiences, you know.
I like how you describe it. Everyone has a story. I feel that way here on this show when we bring guests in. Everybody's got a story. They need to tell it. And the energy that you're able to tap into, because this weekend you're going to be judging at the event. So what are you looking for from the artists?
I'm somebody who's really big on punchlines, delivery, cadence, like your flows, originality, authenticity. I've heard so many people, lyricists especially, say the same things over and over again. Can you say something in a way that I've never heard it, even if you're referencing something that we all associate with, you know? But delivery is everything. I'm big on passion. You know, can I feel what you're saying? You know, do you believe what you're saying? You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing, you know? Where is it coming from when it's being spoken? You know, so... I'm definitely big on punchlines. Like, I love bars, I love lyricism, I love storytelling, but this styles sometimes can outweigh punchlines if your style is just sick and authentic, you know, in a way that I've never encountered, you know. So respect. I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing what's out here.
Absolutely. Let's go to the phones. We have Kai, who is listening to the show up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, just north of us, about an hour, and he's tuning in on radio station KUNM. Hello, Kai. You are on the air. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Sean. First-time caller, long-time listener. I just wanted to comment on the evolution of hip-hop. Well, first of all, shout out Defy, shout out Ilmac, shout out She-Real. I want to piggyback a little bit off of the storytelling aspect that She-Real mentioned, because the evolution of hip-hop with respect to Native people's participation, it's like we're natural storytellers. We've been orators a long time. So it's like for us to be able to present our lyrics in a way to the people to get them to feel what we're talking about, it's like, yeah, that's what's so great about it. And then another thing, the evolution of events like Gathering of MCs. The Gathering of MCs has put me on to so many Native artists out there that I probably wouldn't have ever known about had it not been for Defy's event. Because then also social media became a thing, and now I'm learning about artists from North Dakota. Shout out Stuart James. I think Smokehouse is on the bill tonight. But I wouldn't have learned about these artists had it not been for social media and the event itself. Mm-hmm. So it's great to just be able to participate in it. I did it like maybe years ago. I remember I was like early days when I was trying to first, write my first raps and stuff. But it really is just great to be part of the culture and see it evolve and see it take shape in the way that it's going now. It's lovely. It's great. And I'm all for it. I'm going to be there this weekend or these next 2 nights.
All right, Kai. Thank you for calling in and offering all those great words. And glad to know you're a fan of the show. And keep calling in. We want to hear from you some more, Kai. Let's go next to Michael, who is listening in Jemez Pueblo, New Mexico, the village of Walatoa. And he's also a KUNM listener. Hello, brother. How you doing today?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, brother? Yeah, excited the last one. I hope, a lot of people are saying, no, not the last one. But anyway, I've been going to many of the Gathering Nations powwows and other festivities that go on because my second wife was a dancer in the Gathering Nation for many years, and her kids, her son, and her daughter were also participating. So. And then one year we were sitting up in the grandstand, and she said, "Isn't that White Eagle?" Because down below there was a chair, it had a White Eagle sign on the back of the chair, the singing group there. And I said, "Oh man, I recognize all of them. I went to school with them. I sang with White Eagle because Arlie Nesky brought the White Eagle drum to Durango, Colorado, to Fort Lewis College, and I joined it. And at that time, also he eventually got permission from the faculty, from the administration to have us get college credit for singing with White Eagle, and that was awesome. And Arlie, of course, Arlie was the professor of the native drums scene, and he was, it was awesome too. And now that drum is up in Seattle, where Arlie's at, and there's all through the years, the generations of people that belong to the White Eagle drum, and also Arlie and his dad, Alan Nesky, they made the Gather of Nations song that you hear about at 7:00 during the grand entry, and that year it was 2003. It's on the CD on the VHS or the DVD. White Eagle was the guest on the floor, and I sang both days with him, and also
All right, Michael calling in from Jemez Pueblo, and obviously a longtime attendee of Gathering of Nations, and also a longtime listener of Native America Calling. Defy, we have part of another song, and this is a group Cypher with you and some other MCs. Let's take a listen.
Give it a rap, we can go 400. Got a bit of trap with the no more running. Everybody bounce like a low rugged. Below low budget, but the whole blow loaded. Low bro with a low go flow gunning. Anybody could get it, but no one run it. Chop it and lock it and blow cold cut it. Pop it and rock it, West Coast go tut it. Monster is I'm in the south of the dome. Lock it and low with the thoughts in my soul. Yeah, I'm on the road like a stone man. Hold the mics with both hands, so I'm behind the bow. Out of control like a team with a dream, but I mean what I mean, and my mama will know. Live a good life where we all will grow. Salute FF and the Project Blow.
Minimal amount of criminal will get done. Whenever I'm in the big funds. Some of them are like a general or Top Gun. I'm a little not one. Get it, got it, get it, no cap. Can you dig it? Something is a throwback. Y'all already know that. Being like Kodak, all up in the photo, make golden in the Cadillac. Old school, but I had a man in cornucopia. No rules, I've been living money in a dystopia. Those who miss blind in a new utopia. Not the kind that'll be found in his blowy. All begin eternal is up in my journal. My murderer, concerning and concerned to my servant. West side, I don't know the west star. Silver moment, test my version of a Death 5 weapon. No tear jerking and not out here lurking. Confess my burden. A bliss God church and like royal heirs. Yes, I'm searching.
When I push forth in the right direction, the way I record it, get a mic infection. Made it to shore with no bind of entrance. Lay him in the morgue and they find him restless. Eyes wide open and blind of my senses. My die focus, a final life deficit. Like mitosis, through biology. Type I toke with, through psychology. Finite folk with, who wanna follow me? Like I cope with, got me a lobotomy. On to the odyssey with no camaraderie. Aim for the force when I rhyme it with tension. Full of vengeance, but the mind so clear. Over the edge wherever I go near. And I disappear when I gotta shook my mental. Take it back to notebooks and a pencil.
Defy, like in that track, who was on this Cypher with you?
Oh, so you heard, I started off the Cypher, then it went to Micah 9, Freestyle Fellowship, Project Blowed, and then Afro, he goes by All Flows, Reach Out. And you were about to hear Eli from Living Legends, Swanberger, Seuss Mace.
Got it.
Smoke M2D6 on the beat. Shout out to Old Dominion.
Okay. Now, are these folks going to be at Gathering MCs this weekend?
They've been there before, or except Mike and 9. We wish we could make it out. Maybe next year.
All right. Elmac, I want to go back to you. And for our listeners who might not be as familiar with your work, it could definitely be described as eclectic. It draws from a lot of different musical influences, and your lyrics draw on different subject matters and references. And we're going to play one of your latest single here in just a moment. But first, I want to ask you, how have you changed as an artist since your initial freestyles 10 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I first started I wrote my first rap in 97, you know,
30 years ago, my bad.
But no, you're good. But how I've changed even in the last 10 years is I was trash then and I'm not now. As an artist, to me, if you're not growing and learning, which there's a little bit of a masochistic element where if you don't hate your old stuff, then you're not pushing yourself enough now. You know what I mean? And some people, I could still, be at peace with some of my old stuff, but it's all about the evolution. If you're not growing and learning, you're just treading water and waiting.
Okay, this is your latest single. It's titled Like Dirt. Let's hear it.
I just spilled coffee on a white shirt. I just got a bag for some light work. I stopped trying to figure out how life work. Got it out the mud and feel like dirt. I told her don't fall for me, might hurt. Say I love you, I said thank you for the kind words. Baby, I've been going through it. I might grow a garden, cause on God I feel like dirt. Been a few days since my last text. All these missed calls like a bad ref. Told me I'm the one, I need a fact check. Think I misplaced the last off that I had left. Day drinking, chain smoking, daydreaming, and stay hoping to break even and break open. It's hard to hear, but if I keep playing music, be the death of me like Beethoven. Life is a one-way flight. Drinking on a Monday night. All in my face, I just need space. Make sure the feng shui right. Dirt under my nails, I don't wanna be clean. Left my heart on my sleeve in the washing machine. You got dirt on it. You got dirt on it. Yeah. You got dirt on it. I might grow a garden, cause on God I feel like dirt.
That was the song Like Dirt from one of our guests in the studio today, Il Mac. And I like that sound. You've got a good video that goes with it as well. Yeah. I was able to check that out before the show. But tell me more about what went into creating this song.
It's from my newest project, Winter, and which really I've done. I started this 4-project series back in 2020 with Spring. Did summer, autumn, and then there was like 5 years in between putting out Winter. But that was one of the last songs for the project, and it was a lot of more emotional things going into Winter. But I wanted to do something that felt happy, even with some of the underlying sadness. It felt like a seed, in the winter underneath the soil, you know what I mean? And so I felt like I wanted to capture that emotion in it. And that's how it came out.
And you did it.
Appreciate
absolutely,
it. Thank
absolutely.
You. I wanted to be you to feel happy while talking about being sad. Feeling like I feel like dirt. You know what I mean? Celebrating.
But that's the key, right? You got to take people on that roller coaster of emotions, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we want. That's what, as 100%. Listeners, that's what we strive for.
Yeah.
Now, you are also an accomplished battle rapper. Tell me more about what goes into being successful in that whole area of hip hop.
Obsession. It's obsession and a competitive personality, and being a student of the craft. I've been battling since 2001. You know what I mean? And always just been obsessed and been competitive and studied the craft. And going back to what I said earlier, always just trying to get better, learn, and then go out and test my mettle against other warriors. You know what I mean?
And what is that like? I mean, because I always see, I've seen him on TV and videos and things like that. And does it ever cross over, or kind of cross the line and get physical or anything like that? Has you ever seen that happen?
Yeah, that can happen. 99.9% of the time, especially a big of actual events, it doesn't happen because it's the same thing with UFC or professional fighters. We know what we're signing up for. Those guys will get in the ring and punch each other in the face for 5 minutes straight, 10 minutes straight. And then when that bell rings, they hug it out because it's the love of the craft. And it's the same thing that goes into, being a battle rapper.
Yeah. Now, going back to videos, you've created cartoon videos and you have imagined rap battles between, there's one where you have a bottle of ketchup and a bottle of mustard, and they're going at. Tell me more about that and how that fits into your overall vision for your creativity and your artistry.
Yeah. Ketchup versus mustard started off the cartoon series. We've done dog versus cat. We've worked with major brands and media companies doing cartoons. But how I always seen it, in the modern form of battle rap, it's almost a little insulary. If you had to have watched that battle to know this reference to, and I always imagine, to me, battle rap is so universal and it has that because it has a lot of that conflict element. And so I wanted to do something that put it on its most universal platform, which to me was like, you don't need to know the storyline. We all know ketchup and mustard. Now we're writing the bars not as a parody. Like if I was a bottle of ketchup, this is what I would say, you know, and it's gone stupid viral. And I love expressing this art form in different ways, you know?
Yeah, because you tap into a whole new audience when you create content like that. Now, of course, you will be at Gathering of MCs tonight and also tomorrow. What are you most excited about, and what are you looking to take away from the overall weekend?
Just the energy, you know, discovering new artists and, you know, chopping it up, maybe creating new music with artists I discovered through this, but also just observing and taking in the energy as a fan. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're artists, but we're all fans first.
All right. We're going to take another break, and we'll come back, and we're going to talk more with She Real, who is also in the studio today. We're also going to hear one of her tracks. And, of course, we had a couple of good calls earlier, and we've got time for a few more, at least one more. So if somebody wants to get on the phone and give us a call, we can get your comments on the air. The number is 1-800-996-2848. Once again, 1-800-996-2848. The event is titled Gathering of MCs, and it is in its 14th year. And we are joined by Diné hip-hop artist Defy, who is just a legend in the native hip-hop scene, especially here in New Mexico and other parts of the Southwest. And he's a big part of this, and he's brought in the talent that we have today. And it's amazing because these folks, they just flew in this morning, and we had our producer, Sol Traverso, run over to the Sunport, pick you folks up, race you back to the studio. But we got everybody here on time, and we're having a great show. I'm loving it, listening to the music and just enjoying interacting with you folks and learning more about your craft. So listeners, stay with us. We'll be right back on the other side of this short break.
Skugtash. For more than 40 years, Ramona Farms has revived ancient traditional foods, tepary beans, pinoli, polentas, and more, all from store.ramonafarms.com. Ramona Farms supports this show. Omye.
Need an actionable plan to achieve your goals? Kaufman & Associates strengthens Native organizations through culturally grounded strategic planning. More at kaufmaninc.com, KAUFFMANINC.com.
You are listening to Native America Calling. I'm Sean Spruce. Let's continue now with our conversation with hip-hop artists. We have Defy, She Real, and Ilmac in our studio today. And listeners, you can listen back to this show and all of our past shows. You can go to our website, nativeamericacalling.com, or major podcast platforms as well. And if you'd like to join the conversation, the number is 1-800-99-NATIVE. One of our guests today, She Real, is a hip-hop artist who will be performing with Ilmac and others at the Gathering of MCs event this weekend in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And She Real, I want to talk about your latest album. And we can't say the title on the air because we are public radio, but it centers on the hypersexualization of black women in hip-hop. What led you to create this album right now? What's the need?
Yeah, okay, so the title of the album is I Don't Rap About My P Word, right? I graduated from the 1500 Sound Academy in Inglewood, California about 2 years ago, and there were two different books that they got from Nipsey Hussle. One is called The 22 Immutable Laws of Branding. The other one is called The 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. I can't remember specifically which book off the top, but there was a law in one of the books about the law of opposite, which is when you have a competitor, you take their strength and turn it into a weakness. So the shock value of the title was based around that concept. I wanted to be able to grab everyone's attention immediately whose back may be turned or who's looking for the opposite of the hypersexualization of black women in hip-hop, because there's a lot of people that say we just rap about our P words in mainstream, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really big on bars, storytelling, lyricism, you know what I'm saying? Especially being a millennial, especially being from New York, You know what I'm saying? I feel like I pay homage and show my respect to the culture by pushing my pen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear a song now from She Real. This is off her latest album, and the song is titled Fight For Me. We'll take a listen. We'll talk more about it.
Who the hell's Rabbits? Life came with trauma I never anticipated. When I was younger, so rarely was celebrated. See, murder Urkel never had a Stefanta. It wasn't too fond of jokes without the dough of Jaleel White. That's what the carton based on my vernacular off-white. A virgin called me Dak before I pictured a love life. Shout out to Gina Prince, cause loving basketball shed light. To help me keep my head up with no tattoo or thug life. As Kitty told me too skinny for black men. My stepmama broke me down from the moment she stepped in. Kicked me out, then bring me back down to cycle I can't stand. Cash a couch in New York City, still picky, won't ask fam. Dodge a couple hickey, eat like Pac-Man. Eating out on weaving, is who's keeping that track down. From the moment was assaulted, put my purpose out the coffin. Left my body in a casket, then I elevated off it like, whoa. Let my holy father never was a ghost. That Bill Cosby for Amari got smoked. Prophet of my homeland, flip me to a nomad, no mattress, body tip on my hoe. Gary Payne guard up, hustle Mr. Carter. Mentally at war, trying to free my soul. Keep a Forest Hill Drive in a world so cold, it's cold. Cause I had to learn how to fight for me. Cause I had to learn how to fight for me. Cause I had to learn how to beat me up, put whoopings to my backside. Hey, be I must love it, this the game. 50-50, I don't act right. Beautiful addiction as I struggle through my last high. Power of the this a vibe. Got me leaning, I'm fiending. Control to see it, she just so conceited. Drunk off the rim and catch every demon. Witty Bobby singing something in common. I can't believe it. Vicious cycle in the people. I'm running with every secret, every lie, every void. A kid with toy. This my inner child screaming, don't hurt me as I'm employed. Got me working day and night. You the trigger, bullet explode. Left my body on the concrete for company. Bet my soul. My abuser resurrect with no common courtesy calls. In and O as I owe. Orgasmic, I lick it all up. Higher ups keep telling me to evolve. As I beg them, don't abandon me. Drinking shit to the cause. Applause, I turn and toss. Cause sleep is awkward. Weak hours of the morning. I hear Yahweh want a speech. Gotta learn to let go with that love ain't come for me. Now seize the season, no loss in love in me. Oh, let my holy father never was a ghost. That Bill Cosby for Amari got smoked. Prophet of my homeland, flip me to a nomad, no mattress, body tip on my hoe. Gary Payne guard up, hustle Mr. Carter. Mentally at war, trying to free my soul. Keep a Forest Hill Drive in a world so cold, it's cold. Cause I had to learn how to fight for me. Cause I had to learn how to fight for me. Cause I had to learn how to.
That track was Fight For Me by She Real. And you mentioned earlier being a millennial, and I get that. I heard the reference to Urkel in there. So I can get that. Tell me more about growing up in Harlem. What's that experience all about?
Interesting. Actually, being out on the West Coast now has made me appreciate my New York experiences on a level that I never imagined. It's a completely different rhythm than any other space I've ever entered or encountered in the world. You have so many people compacted into a small space, seemingly, because we build our buildings high, so we're kind of all on top of each other. If you're from California, I always say to everybody that their 405 and 101 freeways look like our sidewalks, right? Because, and I think that's the one thing I miss about New York more than anything else, are the energetic exchanges I was having with a large amount of people. I come across thousands of people every day, walking down the street, getting on the train. You have no idea how influential it is just to meet another individual, even in passing, from the way you wear your hair to the clothes that you wear, the food that you're eating, the music that you're playing. Our streets are alive. You feel me?
I do. And in LA, everybody's just in their cars, just racing together, right?
Word. You gotta know where to go to find a function, you know. And there's a lot of places that I visit where you have to know where to go to have a gathering. In New York, it's everywhere you go.
Mm. Well, tell me how you first met Defy. I know it was part of a really popular hip-hop radio show titled Sway in the Morning.
Yeah. Sway is a staple in the culture, like, man, for hip-hop, for real. This is what, maybe 2017, 2018 or something like that during South by Southwest.
Yeah, good memory, 2017.
2017. Yeah, so we were in Austin, Texas. Sway is somebody who really loves spitters, really loves rappers, and upholds a high standard for the culture. So, I mean, anybody that wanted to be there, you know, shout out to Defy, because that was a hustle for real. You had to be there wee hours of the morning to even be chosen to get on that stage. You know what I'm saying? And I was in school at the time, like going to Full Sail. So I'm like up writing a paper before I got to go run to the station. Like, you know what I'm saying? Lying to my job about where I'm at. Like I'm sick and I'm really in Austin, Texas, you know, like, because, man, I love the culture so much. I love hip-hop so much. I always try to find a way. I know life is always lifing, but I got to keep music number one for real.
Well, whose idea was it for you to come down and participate in Gathering of MCs?
Oh, definitely Defy.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, I mean, this is an incredible opportunity to be exposed to another aspect of the culture in a place that I've never, you know, been and experienced the culture here. You know, so I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
I'm really glad you're here. And I know you just got off the plane, but you're going to just have a great time here. And don't forget the food we got here. Because New Mexican food is second to none. Absolutely. Native food as well. There'll be a lot of opportunities, I'm sure, to eat well. Defy, we've got someone else joining us in the studio right now.
Yeah, so we're very blessed to be sitting next to One Below, a binary star. So I'll pass the mic out. Thank you.
Peace. What up, though?
Nice to meet you. Well, tell me your involvement with Gathering of MCs.
This is my first year at the Gathering, but you know, I've been knowing Defy for a minute. I don't know how many, you know, years or whatever, but yeah, you know, he invited me to come out, and then when I saw what it was, I still don't know what it is, but I see all the names involved. I'm like, yo, it's gonna be lit, cause you know You know, it's not just about having a lot of people there. It's about I would say quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And some of these people, you know, She Real. I just recently met them recently. You know what I mean? And was like, whoa, you know what I mean? And then some people I've been knowing for a long time. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see you, bro. For real, man.
Where are you based?
I live in Cairo right now, but I'm originally from Pontiac, Michigan.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I went to high school in Ann Arbor, so
dope.
right
That's
down
what's
the road.
Up. Yeah.
Right
I lived in FC Ann Arbor for a minute. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's dope.
Really cool.
Small world, yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts on hip-hop being embraced by so many Native American people?
Man, you know, I mean, hip-hop is the voice of the people, and is for some people you could say, I mean, it was birthed out of oppression. It was birthed out of, like, you know, underprivileged communities. You know what I'm saying, in general, you know what I mean? Like, that's who embraces hip-hop all over the world, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that this is an underprivileged community or whatever. I'm just talking about the youth, the rebels, the underprivileged, the oppressed, the people who don't have a voice to, like, their voice is not heard, you know what I mean? And so, and it's not just the rapping, it's the many ways that we express ourselves through the culture. So I found that out, like, 20 years ago coming here. Like, yo, why are all these brown kids, like, you know what I mean? Some of them wasn't even old enough to get in the Sunshine Theater now, but they was just stand on the sidewalk and just listen or whatever. And I'm like, what's up with that? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it made me appreciate just culture in general, but coming from Pontiac, you know what I'm saying? Like, It just made me, like, appreciate, like, the Native culture even more. Like, if you rock with me, or people want to get to know me, whether it's an individual or a group, whatever, I want to get to know them, you know what I'm saying? I want to know, like, yo, what's up with these folks, you know what I mean? So I started, you know, visiting pueblos and just respecting the land everywhere we go, but specifically, I just got a lot of love for New Mexico in general, you know what I'm saying?
And has Defy been a good host, showing you around?
Come on, man, for sure. Like, he's you know, I was just in Texas a couple of days ago, and I saw the dudes from some Austin groups. They were like, yo, we're going to Gathering. We've been there 3 years in a row. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, word. And you know what he said? They were like, we love being in Defy country. Talking about the hospitality and like, because they was talking, coming from Austin, they was talking about how they, just how they were getting treated and how they felt, and that's how I feel as well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I've been in New Mexico many times, but it's definitely different when you're a guest being hosted. You know what I'm saying? That's special. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Defy, I'm looking at the Gathering of MC's Facebook page. Is that the best way for listeners who want to stay up to date with this weekend's events and all the entertainers and everything else you have planned? Is that the best way to follow up?
Yeah, I think that's a good way. The Facebook event page is live. We're also, all of us are on Instagram, She Real, Ilmac, One Below, myself. All of the artists, we all have Instagram handles. If you go to my Instagram page, DEF_I, I got everybody tagged on the pages there, so feel free to check everybody out. And if you like their music, feel free to follow in everyone's journey.
Okay. And I know there's going to be a competition. Just give us a little bit of background on how that's going to work.
Oh, yeah. So tonight we got the Duke City Beat Battle happening. And many years ago, Wake Self and we used to host this Hip Hop Weekly. It ran for like 9 years straight in Albuquerque at Vinyl and Versus. So every week we had to pull it together like a lineup, different touring acts coming through. So that's how the Duke City Beat Battle kind of immersed through a lot of dope producers, beat makers here in the land, different places. So we'd host competitions and give prizes out to the Beat Battle champions. And it's tournament-based style tonight. So any producers, any beat makers want to network, enter. This is a good opportunity to showcase your beats live in front of an audience, in front of all of these legends and dope artists too.
Okay. And another aspect of your career that I really admire, Defy, is that you are also an educator in addition to being a performer and a manager. And tell me a little bit about what goes into that, teaching hip hop and having students and people that are really interested in learning the skills that go with it.
Man, it's just kind of stems from the love. We love the culture so much. Like She Real, like Ilmac, One Below said, we get up in the morning just because we want to share what we love. Hip hop kind of saved our lives basically out in the res. Even One Below's music, it got distributed out here in Albuquerque a long time ago, and there's like crates. Somehow they got out to the res. And that One Below Binary Star album, Masters of the Universe, that record helped save a lot of lives on the res. I would say that, even mine too included. So we just want to pass that along, that love that we had, that life-saving force, the creative energy, just the skills that we kind of learned in our experiences too, just pass it along to the up-and-coming generation, the new artists, to carry on the modern-day form of storytelling known as rap and poetry that we have through hip-hop. So then tomorrow is the freestyle rap competition and the 16-bar competition too. So any rappers or artists out there want to sign up, it's open. Anybody's welcome to, so feel free to come and bring your whole crew, bring the family.
Okay. Gathering of MCs kicks off tonight at 7 p.m., so you folks have about 7 hours or so to kind of kick back. What do you have planned? You going to go to lunch somewhere, show these folks around the 505 a little bit?
Yeah, shout out to one of our sponsors, Itality. It's a woman native-owned vegan restaurant. We might go check that spot out.
All right. Ilmac, good to be back in New Mexico. You got a lot of friends here you're going to be able to hang out with and check out?
Yeah. I mean, me and Defy obviously go back. I've known this fool One Below since, one of the first, just real quick side note, in like 2001 or 2, I got like one of my first times I ever opened for a bigger artist was for this man right here. And I'll never forget afterwards, he gave me some of the best performance advice I ever got. And so like, it's crazy coming full circle and be back here right now. I remember it word for word. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow.
All right, when we go off the air, I want to hear what that advice is, but I'm a little worried to have you repeat it on here. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right now. But at any rate, I want to say thank you to all of our guests who joined us here in the studio today. Of course, Defy, She Real, Ilmac, and One Below as well. And wish you all the best of success and love going forward. I hope your events all work out fabulously this weekend. And listeners, please join us again tomorrow when we'll hear live performances from Native artists also performing this week in Albuquerque, the Native Guitars Tour. I'm Sean Spruce. You've been listening to the one, the only Native America Calling.
Support from Rodale, publisher of A Feather and a Fork, 125 Intertribal Dishes from an Indigenous Food Warrior by Crystal Wapipa with Amy Page Condon, and a foreword by Tommy Orange is now available for purchase wherever books are sold. Support for law and justice-related programming provided by Hobbs, Strauss, Dean & Walker, LLP, a national law firm dedicated to promoting and defending tribal rights for over 40 years. More information available at hobbsstrauss.com. Who protects Indian country? Amerind does. As the only 100% tribally owned insurance carrier, Amerind helps strengthen tribal communities by providing reliable insurance coverage and keeping dollars in Indian country. From property and liability to commercial auto and tribal workers' compensation, Amerind is here to protect what matters. Celebrating 40 years of serving Indian country. Learn more at Amerind.com. That's AMERIND.com.
Native America Calling is produced in the Annenberg National Native Voice Studios in Albuquerque, New Mexico by Koahnic Broadcast Corporation, a Native nonprofit media organization. Funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting with support from the Public Radio Satellite Service. Music is by Brent Michael Davids. Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.